Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome. And welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about Impact Wrestling for February 23rd, 2021. Now, overall, man, this show, it wasn't a bad show. This is a good show. A okay show. We had some good matches, but then again, it felt like nothing happened on the show besides the Rich Swan and Moose stuff, and the tables match, and that was it. But other than that, man, it was a good show. If you're new here or if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, and right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Now, we started off the show with the tables match, and it was Diener with no Violent by Design, so no Eric Young, no Joe Doring, I mean. So yeah, it was Diener versus Jake something. So Diener, he had nobody in his corner. And so yeah, this is good, to start off the show. We had Diener, he was going after Jake. He attacked Jake. He bite at Jake, biting him on his nose and everything. And we had Jake, he was fighting back, trying to fight back with strikes and clotheslines. And we had, Jake, he had a clothesline in the back of Diener's head. We had, at one point, you had Jake, he tried to get the table in the ring. He was trying to bring it into the ring, and you had Diener, he just ran and just drop kicked. He drop kicked the table into Jake. And so, yeah, Jake, he fought back. He had a Michinoku driver on the Diener. And then we had Diener, he was trying to fight back. He had a drop toe hold to Jake, and then Jake hit the table. The table that was set in the corner, so he hit the table. And so, and then we had a slingshot. We had a slingshot to Jake, on the bottom of the table. So he slingshotted Jake on the bottom of the table. And the table didn't break yet. And so, yeah, Diener, he targeted Jake's eyes. And we had Jake, he tried to back body drop, Diener into the table that was draped on the ring in the barricade. And so Diener, he fought out of it. And then, Diener, he used the table as a weapon at one point. And then Diener, Jake, he was at the top rope. I think he was trying to go for a top rope move. And so Diener, he grabbed at Jake's hair. He grabbed at his hair and then just threw him off of the top rope while holding on to the hair. And so Jake, he went splat. He went splat on the mat. And so, yeah, and then, Jake, he was fighting back. He had a sit-out powerbomb on Diener in the ring, not through the table. And, and then at one point they were fighting outside of the ring by the steel steps. I think Jake, he was trying to go for a move. And so Diener, he fought out of the move. And then Jake, he ended up falling. He fell and then hit the edge of the steps, the steel steps. And so, yeah, they were fighting outside the ring. We had a low blow to Jake. And then Diener, he tried to hit a DDT on the stage. And so Jake, he fought out of it. And then Jake, he ended up right by the table that was near the ring. And so Diener, he ran towards Jake. And then Jake had caught him with a black hole slam through the table. So Jake hit the black hole slam on Diener through the table. So that means Jake wins the tables match. And that was it. And so, yeah, right after the match, Jake, he was trying to celebrate. And you had Moose. He came out and he speared Jake through the table. And so, Moose, he asked for a chair. He got a chair. He sat on the chair, he grabbed the microphone, and, he was saying that, I'm not going to leave. I'm not leaving until I get what I'm promised. Rich Swann, he promised me a championship match, a world championship match. And so I'm not going anywhere until I get it. Like now. I want it now. And so, and then, Moosey was still talking. And then Scott D'Amore, I guess the head of management, he came out and he confronted Moose. And so this is what Scott had to say to Moose.
Enough of this. You're not holding up this show. Get the hell out of the ring.
Scott, there's still an hour and 30 minutes of potential time for great professional wrestling you could have.
Yeah,
and
so
all
get
you
out of the
have to
ring.
do is give me my damn Impact World title match.
Moose, I don't know how many different ways I can tell you. Rich Swann isn't cleared tonight. He's not even in the building right now. Seriously, Moose, get...
Ooh, some commotion.
And
Jake
Jake.
is coming back here. What's going on?
Hey, Jake, I know you're a smart man, but if you get in this ring, putting you through this table is not going to be the worst thing that's going to happen to you tonight.
Listen, calm down. Moose, you have all the talent in the world, and you're content to piss this away. You know what? You want a world title match? You want a world title match tonight,
Damn right I
Moose?
want a world title match.
Fine! You've got a world title match. You know why? Because for almost a year, I've watched you walk around here carrying that TNA World's Heavyweight Championship. A championship that means a whole hell of a lot to me. A championship for a company in TNA that I helped build. So you've got your dream, Moose, because right here, right now, from this very second on, I'm making the TNA World's Heavyweight Championship an official world title here in Impact.
Whoa.
And tonight, Moose, in the main event, you're going to defend that title against Jake something. Congratulations, champ. You got a title match.
And that was it. That was it from that segment. Moose, he'll be fighting Jake something in the main event for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. The championship that Moose been carrying around. And this match, the match that they made, it didn't make any sense though. It really didn't make any sense. Because Jake, he just got finished competing in a tables match. And so, what I would have done, I would have saved this match for next week. Save it for next week. Let Jake recover, let him heal up, and then give him the title shot. And another thing, man, I don't think Moose was asking for that. He wanted Rich Swann. He wanted Rich Swann in the World Heavyweight Championship match. And so, Scott, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a World Heavyweight Championship match. And but it wasn't a World Heavyweight Championship that match that Moose was asking for. And so yeah, that was it. Would have saved this match for next week though. But the main event, it was a really good match. And so yeah, right after this, we had a 6-man tag, and the winner of the 6-man tag, whoever team wins, they'll fight in a triple threat match next week for a #1 contender spot for the X Division Championship. And so yeah, it was Trey Miguel, Willie Mack, and Josh Alexander versus Chris Bay, Ace Austin with Madman Fulton in his corner, and Black Taurus with Rosemary and Crazy Steve in his corner. And so yeah, this match was all over the place, man. This match was all over the place. With these tag team matches and these 6-man tag matches, man, I could not keep up. And so I got what I got, written down. And so yeah, we had Bay and Miguel. They start off the match. They were going back and forth with technician moves. We had Black Taurus and Willie Mack. At one point, they had a stare down and they were going back and forth. So that was a great sight. The two big guys going at it. They were outpowering each other. And at one point, they were flying around like cruiserweights. And so yeah, we had Mack. He hit a drop kick on Taurus. And then at one point, we had Josh Alexander. He hit a fireman's carry senton bomb to Taurus. And so yeah, we had a top rope move. Yeah, we had a top rope move to Alexander from Taurus. And then we had Alexander. He hit a power bomb into a backbreaker to Chris Bay. So Chris Bay, he was trying to go for a Hurricanrana, and so Josh Alexander, he turned that into a power bomb, a power bomb backbreaker. And so yeah, we had at one point we had a pendulum, like a pendulum surfboard to Austin. And so yeah, Trey Miguel, he dropped him, and then after that he hit him with an elbow drop. And so, and at one point we had Ace Austin. He knocked off Trey Miguel off the top rope. He was going for a high flying move. And so, yeah, we had Mack. He hit a pop up elbow strike to Ace Austin. And then Austin, he kicks out. And then we had a blockbuster. It was Ace Austin's finishing move. I forget the name of it, but it's a blockbuster. So he hit the blockbuster on Mack. And then at one point we had a torture rack into a backbreaker to Miguel from Alexander. And then we had a German suplex. No, it was from Taurus, right? I think it was from Taurus. And then we had a German suplex. We had a German suplex to Taurus from Alexander. Oh, or maybe it was from Alexander. Yeah, and we had a T-bone suplex to Bay from Mack. And then we had at one point we had Austin and Bay. They were double teaming Mack. And we had a springboard cutter to Willie Mack from Chris Bay. So that was it. So Chris Bay, he covered Willie Mack 1, 2, 3. And that was it. So Chris Bay, Ace Austin, and Black Taurus, they win the match. And will fight next week in a triple threat match. And the winner will be the #1 contender for the X Division Championship. And so yeah, man, that was it. You know, I knew Chris Bay, I knew their team was gonna win because you had Josh Alexander. He competed last week against TJP for the X Division Championship. You know, Trey Miguel, he was in that triple threat revolver match, and Willie Mack was in a triple threat revolver match. So I kind of knew they wasn't gonna win. So that's why, you know, I chose Chris Bay, Ace Austin, and Black Taurus. You know, because, you know, even though even though Bay and Austin, they were in a triple threat revolver match. You know, you had one person that wasn't in the triple threat revolver match, and that was Black Taurus. And that's Black Taurus is a guy that they've been, you know, he been booked good. He been booked very well ever since he showed up on Impact. He's been booked well. He's undefeated. So I'm going with Black Taurus. I'm going with Black Taurus to win this triple threat match, man, next week. It's going to be TJP versus Black Taurus, man. I can't wait. You know. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so right after this, man, we had Trey Miguel. You know, they showed a video of Trey Miguel backstage. He was upset about the loss and everything. And so, yeah, he was upset. And so, yeah, they showed a video of him backstage. He was upset and he got confronted by Sami Callihan. You know, Sami Callihan was backstage and he was still talking smack. And so, is this it? Nope, it's not it. Here it is. So yeah, he was talking smack to Trey Miguel like he did last week. This is what happened.
Told you so. LA. Told the whole world so. You don't have what it takes. And it bothers you because you know at the end of the day, everything I'm speaking is facts. What, you've been around 3 months now? Back in Impact Wrestling and things aren't already going your way. You gonna run away? I think you're about to quit. I think you're about to flake out. Couldn't even become #1 contender. Thought this was your time. You didn't get pinned, but your team got beat. I think the true weak link on your team was your lack of passion.
Oh man, that was it. Oh.
Don't touch me.
And that was it. That was it. You know, Trey Miguel, he had enough of it, man. He had enough. You know, last week he didn't do nothing to Sami Callihan, but this week, you know, he did something, man. He got tired of this dude. And so yeah, so it's gonna be Trey Miguel versus Sami Callihan. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it should be good, man. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after this we had Decay. They were backstage. They were celebrating. They were celebrating with Black Taurus.
5 long years since we were summoned to this realm. 4 since we came. So close. But we always preach patience, hivelings, don't we? Wait.
And you have been patient, children. And now it is time to rejoice. Children of the Hive, the resurrection of the Death Dealers is now upon us.
Opportunity comes forth to bring back treasures to the shadow, Black Taurus. Next week. First, we take the X Division Championship. And then the rest. Because without death, there is no life. Without chaos, it is stagnancy. Without darkness, there is no light. We are nature correcting its course. And as death's icy fingers tickle the back of your neck, as the darkness creeps in on the edge of your vision, that is the dawning of the new age of shadow, brought forth by the Death Dealers of Decay. Decay. Decay!
And that was it. That was it from Decay. That was Rosemary, Crazy Steve, and Black Taurus. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, Black Taurus, just like what I said, he's my pick to win that triple threat match next week. Now him versus TJP, I don't know if Black Taurus will win. Maybe he will win, but I don't think he will win against TJP. And so yeah, that was it. And right after this, we had a paid ad from AEW. So yeah, I thought this was really cool. I thought this was really funny. And so yeah, we had. Oh, so yeah, we had Tony Schiavone. We had Tony Schiavone, Tony Khan. We had Britt Baker, Reba, Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, Isaiah Cassidy, Matt Hardy, and Ryan Nemeth. And they were talking about their matches, you know, later on. I mean, tomorrow on AEW Dynamite.
And Tone, I've got such a big heart. I love doing this charity work for Impact. It's like my own personal Big Brother program. Impact's like the little kid I mentor once a week. I come here for these paid ads. Impact, look at all the talent I brought you. This is like 4% of the AEW roster, yet it's more star power than you're going to get in 2 years of Impact Wrestling shows. Tony, tomorrow night we have a real wrestling television show.
Yeah.
Instead of having me tell you about it this week, let's have the top stars of AEW competing tomorrow night on TNT tell you about it themselves.
In the Women's Eliminator Tournament.
We'll start with me. And
Britt Baker.
Nyla Rose is going to be less significant than Impact. Believe it or not, it's possible.
That's Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And here's Team Taz taking on the varsity.
Starkman,
Let me tell you something
Ricky
about the
Starks.
varsity blondes. Everyone wants to hate on Pillman, but Pillman isn't as bad as management at Impact. Ain't that right?
Well, you know, I'm a former Impact Wrestling World Champion, but that was the last time that title was any significant whatsoever.
Okay, so here is the Hollywood Hunk. Ryan Nemeth, you got a
Look just like his brother. Ryan Nemeth does. Look just like Dolph Ziggler.
Was out for a big role. The odds are always stacked against him. But for a performer like
Now he'll be fighting John Moxley tomorrow.
flourish, I will win his match.
No, you're not.
And Isaiah Cassidy goes
Isaiah
up
Cassidy.
against Hangman and a page with Big Money Matt Hardy.
Adam, my boy, I hope you're watching this real close. Because just like I dropped your ass last week, I'm going to drop your ass again this week. You feel me? I'm going to see you on the dance floor, playboy.
Hangman, Isaiah is going to hurt you. Tomorrow night on AEW Dynamite. In a Revolution, I am going to destroy you both physically and financially in our big money match.
So there you have it tomorrow night, TK.
It's
It's all part of a huge lineup coming up in less than 24 hours from here in Jacksonville, Florida, tomorrow night on AEW Dynamite. Tone, why don't you tell them the whole card?
Tomorrow night, it's another loaded AEW
So John Moxley
Dynamite
versus
on
Ryan
TNT.
Nemeth.
The former
John
AEW
Moxley
World
winning that.
Champion John Moxley
There's no
will
way
be
in
matching
hell,
against the
man.
Hollywood Hunk Ryan Nemeth. The AEW Women's World Championship
AEW
Eliminator
Women's
Tournament
World Championship
rolls on
Eliminators.
in the U.S. bracket as Dr. Britt Baker battles Nyla Rose in semifinal action. Jake Hager goes up against Brandon Cutler. Hangman Adam Page takes on Isaiah Cassidy with Big Money Matt Hardy in his corner. And Ricky Starks and Brian Cage will battle the Varsity Blondes. Plus, in the main event, it's the Face of the Revolution ladder match qualifier. Lance Archer and Ray Phoenix will go one-on-one for a spot at Revolution on Sunday.
Oh, I don't know
March
about that
7th.
one, man.
Don't miss AEW Dynamite tomorrow night on TNT.
So yeah, that was it from the AEW paid ad. You know about the AEW women's eliminator chamber, elimination chamber. That was last night. That was on not last night. It was on Sunday. But yeah, with the AEW eliminator tournament for the women's side, you know it was supposed to be Britt Baker versus Anna Jay, but Anna Jay, from what I heard, she got injured. She got injured from training. While she was training, she got injured. So it's gonna be Nyla Rose taking her place. So it's gonna be Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker tomorrow on that American side for the women's championship tournament. And they added another match too. It's gonna be Ray Phoenix versus Lance Archer, and the winner of that match will be in that ladder match at Revolution. I'm going with Phoenix. It might it's hard. I might maybe Archer wins, but I'm going with Phoenix. I'm going with Phoenix in this match. You got Pentagon in there, man, but you gotta have Phoenix too. So if they got Pentagon, man, you have to put Phoenix in there. So yeah, that was it from the AEW paid ad. And so yeah, right after this we had a backstage segment. It was from Havok and Naveah.
Peanut, I'm talking to you.
Oh.
Okay, who cares? So we lost. I know we lost at Hard to Kill, and then we lost at No Surrender. And I know that you came up a little short against Tennille last week, but it doesn't mean that we need to break up as a team. All we got to do is step back, rethink things. We can come up with different
No. I just need some time.
And then Tennille Dashwood in the background with Caleb walked in through a door.
This is so awkward.
I did not mean to hear that, but I happened to be standing on the other side of that door, and I heard everything you just said. But all I could think was, Carpe diem.
I love that.
What? Seize the moment. It's one of my favorite
Look,
quotes.
Havok, we have to strike while the iron is hot. We've got entrance music, matching gear, a team name.
Yeah.
This is gonna be hot.
And has anyone ever told you that normally Havok is spelled with a C, but the way you spell it, well, that would make it Havok.
With a K.
I'm not interested.
But wait, there's more. I just got these new earrings.
I'm not interested.
And she walked away.
Did you feel that? That was electric. I think there's chemistry here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so yeah, that was it from that. From Havok, Naveah, Tennille Dashwood. You know, Tennille Dashwood trying to recruit. I guess she want to be a tag team partner. Since Naveah couldn't get the job done, she wants to be Havok's tag team partner. And so yeah, that was it, man. I don't know why Tennille Dashwood is not. Why she not going after the women's title? Why she not going after the women's title, but instead want to be in a tag team? I don't know, man. She should be going after that women's title. And so yeah, right after this we had a tag team match. It was XXXL. That's Larry D and Acey Romero versus the Good Brothers, who are the Impact Tag Team Champions. That's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. And so yeah, it really wasn't much in this match. We had at one point we had a follow-away slam. We had a follow-away slam to Larry D from Gallows. Very impressive. You know, Larry D is not a small person. He picked him up and he lifted him over his shoulders with that follow-away slam. So I thought that was really good. We had a double clothesline to XXXL from Gallows. And, you know, Larry D, he fell. But Acey Romero, he was still staggering. He was still standing up. And so yeah, we had European uppercuts to Romero from Anderson. And then at one point we had Larry D. He gives Anderson a cheap shot, so he hit him from behind. And we had body shots to Anderson from Larry D. And we had Gallows. He tagged in. It was a hot tag. He delivers clotheslines to Romero. Not Romero. He hit a clothesline on Larry D. And he hit a big boot to Acey Romero. And then we had a roundhouse kick to Larry D from Gallows. And so right after that, to end the match, we had a magic killer to Larry D from the Good Brothers to win the match. So the Good Brothers, they win the match, and rightfully so. They're the champs. Champions should always win. And so, yeah, right after that, we had the Swingers Palace. And this is what happened in the Swingers Palace. We had James Storm, Chris Sabin, the usual people, Johnny Swinger, Johnny Bravo.
Man, you are so rich. Look, the railroad would have made her like it was so rich. Woo! Oh, stay, baby, like Saturday night with a girl on the you stay 18 points. Yeah. Stay. I got 17. She got 19. No, stay. No, like, he's only got 16 showing, so he's got to hit a card.
Yeah, Rohit Raju come in with Shira with a bandage over his head.
Just hit in the middle of a hand. What are you doing, man?
This is Swingers Palace. We do whatever the Midnight Mayor says.
Hit him, daddy.
Hit me. 10. Hit me. 14. Coming. Hit me. Let's go. 20. 21.
Are you kidding me?
What? Are you kidding me? Nope.
Are you kidding me? You took the bus card. What kind of jerk takes the freaking bus card?
Is it the same type of jerk that hits somebody in the head, sucker punches them with a bottle?
Oh, really? You mean like a bottle like this? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, man.
Hey, come on! I love this place, and you guys are not ruining this for me. We're not getting kicked out of another bar. We're no fighting. No fighting, okay?
I love Swingers Palace. Hey, don't worry, Daddy. Nobody's getting kicked out. I'll take bets on this match. Rohit versus James Storm. Hey, Dino, go talk to the office and get this match booked, Daddy.
So, yeah, that's next week. James Storm versus Rohit Raju. And it's not going to even be on the show. It's going to be on a pre-show. And so I would have put it on a regular show. You know, Rohit Raju is really good. You know, James Storm is good. I would have put it on the regular show. But they put it on a pre-show. So, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Finn Juice. That's Juice Robinson and David Finlay, the son of Fit Finlay. And the Good Brothers, the Impact World Tag Team Champions. They're backstage together. And this is what happened.
Hold on, boys. You calm down and let me, Scott Hall, walk into this shot. Oh, you guys got some beer skis for the senpais? Yeah, they better be on ice and they better be cans because that's how we like them. Boys, did you see what we did out there? Did you see we did our favorite thing in the entire world? And let me count it. You count it. 1, 2, 3. Beat up everybody! Yeah! So yes! Where's the Donna Condo? I love that kind of stuff. Did you see that? Huh?
Yeah, we saw it. We saw it, man. It took you guys long enough, huh? Took you a hot minute, didn't it, to beat those guys?
Oh, what's the time out? You
Slowing down a little bit?
slowing down? You saw what we did. We win these everywhere we go. You realize who you're talking to? The Impact Tag Team Champions? Literally the best tag team in the world. That's us.
Dude, we know.
Impact.
We've seen
Impact
you win
World Tag
titles
Team
all
Champions.
over.
You've held the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. You've held the New York titles.
You beat
The
everybody.
New York titles.
Tag leagues under your belt, right? There is
Talking about
no-
WWE, man.
You guys are the best. You guys are seriously the best tag team in the world at professional wrestling.
hungover.
Scott, hell out of here.
What is this, a roast? Scott Hall thing's mine. Our wives are going to watch that. That's cute. I'm not hungover today at all. I am.
And that was it. That was it from the Finn Juice guys, Finn Juice and the Good Brothers. And, you know, throwing jabs at the Good Brothers and stuff. Yeah, that was funny, man. the New York titles, dude. So that was a shot at WWE. The New York titles, they meant WWE. So yeah, right after this we had Eddie Edwards. Yeah, Eddie Edwards versus what we thought was gonna be Brian Myers. And so, you know, the match didn't happen. Yeah, the match did not happen. So it was supposed to be Eddie Edwards versus Brian Myers, and so Brian Myers, he was just trying to weasel himself out of this match, saying that he wasn't gonna compete in the match, or he wasn't medically cleared to compete in the match, and stuff like that. And so this is what happened.
Hello, I am Mark Sterling Esquire, the most famous professional wrestling lawyer, absolutely undefeated in the court of law, and Brian Myers' brand new attorney. Of course, I come highly recommended by a close mutual friend of ours, and I was hired in regard to the unsafe working environment and unprofessional working conditions at Impact Wrestling. Unfortunately, those conditions led to irreversible damage to my client's eyesight. So obviously, I've advised Brian not to wrestle Eddie Edwards tonight. But fortunately, due to Article 17H of Brian Myers' brand new
17H.
Impact contract that I happen to have right here on card stock, it says, in the event he is not medically cleared to compete, a replacement can be made. A replacement can be made. Well, that's exactly what we're doing here tonight. Please welcome Brian's replacement for this match, our good friend and homie, Hernandez.
And it was Hernandez. And so yeah, it was Hernandez versus Eddie Edwards. And so yeah, the lawyer guy, it was the same guy that was in MJF's campaign when MJF was fighting when he was fighting Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. That was the same guy. That was the same guy that was in MJF's campaign. That was the spokesperson, for him. And so yeah, that was the same person. And so yeah, it was Eddie Edwards versus Hernandez. And so yeah, it was a tope suicida. So yeah, Eddie Edwards, he had a tope suicida to Hernandez while he was making his entrance. And then, they were fighting, they were going back and forth. And then at one point, they were fighting on a ring apron, and then Hernandez, he trips Eddie Edwards and he landed on the ring apron. And so yeah, Eddie Edwards was down. And so Brian Myers, he started punching. He was punching at Eddie Edwards while, behind the referee's back. And so, they got back into the ring. We had a pounce to Eddie Edwards. We had an insecurity to Hernandez when, Hernandez, he was at the top rope. And then Eddie Edwards, he just ran over and gave him an insecurity kick. We had a superplex to Hernandez. And then right after that, to end the match, we had a Boston knee party from the top rope. And so, yeah, he hit his finishing move off the top rope. And he pinned Hernandez 1, 2, 3. And that was it. So Eddie Edwards, he wins the match. And that was it. I don't know what they doing with Eddie Edwards, man. It looks like it feel like he's not doing nothing. Like he's not in nothing special. Like he was the world champion at first. He was the world champion at one point. And so he went from world champion to doing nothing. So I don't know what they doing with him. And so yeah, man. But yeah, that was it. And so yeah, right after this we had a backstage segment, and it was from Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler who was not dressed to compete. And so yeah, he was backstage, and this is what he had to say.
Brian, come on, drop the act. Drop the
Matt
act.
Cardona
What
interrupt.
are you doing?
Last week, I inadvertently hit you in the eye. I'm sorry.
Hey, you owe me an apology.
Hey, Matt. Hey, what's up, Scott? Hey, great. Not much. I've been so busy. It's been crazy around here tonight. How'd your match go?
Lariat, 1, 2, 3. What do you think?
Okay. That's interesting because I actually did get a chance to see it.
Okay.
And I saw your lawyer. Very nice of you hiring a lawyer who referenced your contract. The one you posted online for kind of like a marking out for yourself. And I saw that he referenced, very good lawyer. I saw that he referenced 17H. The problem is he didn't read down a little more into the minutiae of things. The contracts get very specific and very technical. Your lawyers had problems with this in the past, I know. And the fact is, the doctor that has to clear you or not clear you is our Impact doctor. And Dr. Ross says you're fine to go. You're good to go.
Look,
You're cleared for the ring.
I just want this to be a safe work environment for everybody, please.
Of course we all do. And that's why next week you're going to face Eddie Edwards one-on-one in an eye for an eye match.
I love that.
An eye for an eye match.
Wildly unsafe. What are you talking
But
about?
it's not going to be unsafe because I'm going to appoint your buddy, Matt Cardona, as the referee.
What? He pulled right down the middle. Pulled my eye out last week. What are you talking about?
That's not-
Accident, dude.
That is kind of ironic. But look, you're good to ref, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're always ready.
Always. I got a shirt.
This is going to be great. You know what? I'm going to go get a graphic made for this. This is going to be
I
fantastic.
love it. It's awesome.
No sleeves on that ref shirt.
Absolutely
no
not. No
sleeves.
way. You serious about eye for an eye?
Am I serious? Of course I'm not serious. The dumbest thing that you could ever think of. Who the hell would do that?
Oh, man.
Rip somebody's eye out? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, and then what? The guy would, like, have his eye fine again, like, a few weeks later?
Oh, man.
See you next week, bro.
That was a shot, man. A clear shot. A clear shot at WWE, man, with that one. When you remember when Seth Rollins, it was Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio, they had a match, an eye for eye match, and Rey Mysterio ended up getting his eye taken out. And then weeks later, he showed up with normal. Like that stuff never happened. And so, yeah, man, that was a clear shot, man. Clear shot at WWE with that one. And so, yeah, right after this, we had a match. It was a tag team match, and it was from the women. And so the winners of this match will be fighting Fire and Flavor for the NXT, for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships. And so first we had Kimber and Susan with Deonna Purrazzo, who is the Impact Knockouts Women's Champion, versus Jordynne Grace and Jazz. And so, yeah, we had Jazz and Susan. They were going at it. We had Jazz. She was right on top of Susan. She was giving her clubbing blows to Susan's face. And we had Purrazzo. At one point, she got attacked. She got attacked by Jazz. No. Purrazzo, she attacked Jazz. While Jazz she was leaning to the rope. She was leaning on the rope, and then Purrazzo just attacked her. She was holding down her head or her neck or something like that. And so right after that, we had ODB. She came out and she attacked Deonna Purrazzo. And so, yeah, the referee saw it. And so referee kicked out ODB and Purrazzo. So ODB and Purrazzo are ejected from ringside. And so, yeah, we had a side slam to Jazz from Lee. Jazz kicks out. We had a hot tag to Jordynne Grace. She attacked Susan with clotheslines, and she hit her with a spine buster too. And we had a double gore buster. We had a double gore buster to Susan from Grace and Jazz. And then we had a German suplex. A German suplex to Susan from Grace. And then at one point, Susan, she was trying to fight back. She bit Grace's leg. And then she locked in the ankle lock. She locked in the ankle lock on Grace. And then Grace, she escapes it. And then right after that, we had Jordynne Grace. She had her finishing move, the Grace driver to Susan to win the match. So Jordynne Grace and Jazz, they win the match and will fight Fire and Flavor for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. And so, yeah, kind of knew that they were going to win, because they needed a babyface team to go after Fire and Flavor. So yeah, Jordynne Grace and Jazz versus Fire and Flavor, that should be good. And so, yeah, right after that, we had a video. We had a video of Jazz and Jordynne Grace. They were celebrating that win. And then they found, ODB, she was attacked. She was on the ground, knocked out. And so they were really worried about her. And they think that, that Deonna Purrazzo did it. And so, yeah, that was it with that one. And so, yeah, right after that was the main event. Well, before the main event, let's talk about next week's show. So next week, on a pre-show, the BTI, they have Rohit Raju with Shira in his corner versus James Storm with Chris Sabin in his corner. So that's on the pre-show. And next week, we have Eddie Edwards versus Brian Myers. And this is a regular match. And the special guest referee is Matt Cardona. And so, yeah. So, yeah, no eye for an eye. And also next week is going to be the Good Brothers, the Impact Tag Team Champions, as Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson with, and Juice Robertson and David Finlay versus XXXL, that's Larry D and Acey Romero, versus Reno Scum in an 8-man tag team match. So that's next week too. And then also we have a triple threat match. And the winner will be going against TJP for the X Division Championship. So it's going to be Chris Bay versus Black Taurus versus Ace Austin with Madman Fulton in his corner. And yeah, that's next week. And so yeah, right after this was the main event. We had Moose, the self-proclaimed TNA World Heavyweight Champion, versus Jake something. You know, Jake something, he already had a match. So that's why the match didn't make any sense, because he already had a match. And you know, he shouldn't compete twice, because he already competed earlier. And so yeah, but yeah, it was still a good match though. It was still a good match, even though the match didn't make any sense. It turned out to be a good match. You know, Moose. The funny part about this though, when Moose was making his entrance to the ring, and he had his spotlight on him, and then Jake, he just attacked him from behind. He attacked Moose from behind, and he literally, he knocked down Moose. Moose is out, and so the spotlight was still on. So Jake, he literally took up Moose's spotlight, and so the spotlight was splashing on Jake and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And so yeah, right after that they were fighting and stuff. They were fighting outside the ring. We had Jake, he was throwing Moose into the barricade and all that stuff. They got back into the ring. We had a corner splash. Corner splashes to Moose. And then we had a running European uppercut to Jake. And we had a corner drop kick to Jake from Moose. So that was really impressive from Moose. Like a guy his size hitting a drop kick, dude, and the height that he get when he hit those drop kicks, man, it's really, really impressive, dude, for his size. And so yeah, at one point, man, Moose, he tripped up Jake. And so Jake, he landed right on the ring apron. And then we had a short arm clotheslines to Moose. Moose still standing up, not going down. And then we had Moose, he headbutted Jake. And then right after that, we had Jake, he followed that up. Right after Moose hit him with a headbutt, we had Jake, he hit him with a clothesline. Jake hit Moose with a clothesline, turned him inside out. And then we had a Michinoku driver to Moose. And then Moose, he kicked out at the last second, man. And we had a drop kick once again to Jake. And we had a huge superplex from Moose to Jake. Because they're both big guys, and they hit a superplex, so that was a huge one, huge superplex. And so Moose, he tried to go for the spear, and then Jake, he turned it into a beautiful pop-up powerbomb, and then Moose, he kicked out. And so yeah, Moose and Jake, they were going back and forth with strikes, and we had a pump kick to Jake. And then right after that, we had Moose, he hit Jake with 2 Uranagi slams. And he hit a ripcord clothesline to Jake. And he followed that up with a spear to Jake. So Jake, Moose, he wins the match. Moose wins the match and is still the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So yeah, I thought this was a great match. I thought this was a great match, man. Great back and forth. Although the match didn't make any sense, I would have saved this match for next week. It would have been much better if it was next week. We would have let Jake heal up for next week. Would have saved it next week. But yeah, man, it was still a great match, man. And so yeah, right after this, we had Moose. He grabbed the chair and he started hitting Jake with the chair. And so yeah, he hit Jake with the chair over and over again. And then Rich Swann, he came out, interrupted. He attacked Jake. Not Jake. He attacked Moose. And then, not referees, the security guards, they were trying to break it up and everything. And so, yeah, Scott D'Amore, he came out and he made a match. He made a match between Moose and Rich Swann. So it's going to be, Rich Swann, he'll be defending the Impact World Championship against Moose on March 13th at Sacrifice. So that's their next pay-per-view. Sacrifice, that's March 13th. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Impact World Championship. So, yeah, man, that was it. That was it with the show. And so, yeah, I'm going with Moose. I'm going with Moose to win the match. Moose deserves to win. I want to see Moose with both titles, man. You know, Moose with the suit. I love him with the suit. Just have him come out with the suit one day and have him hold this championship, the World Championship, the Impact World Championship, and have him hold up the TNA World Championship in both hands and have him draped over him. So yeah, man, Moose, he needs to win. He needs to win. I said this over and over again. He needs to win. So yeah, Moose is my pick. Moose is my pick to win the match at Sacrifice. So we have a long way to go. You know, not a long way to go, but March 13th. When is that? That's next 2 weeks. That's in 2 weeks. Wow. 2 weeks. So yeah, that should be good, man. But anyway, man, that was it with the show. That was it with the review. You know, good. It was a good show. It was a good show. You know, it wasn't a bad show or nothing. You know. But yeah, man, that was it. That's it. If you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next videos will come out. And I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on nothing. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across. You know, comment down below. Tell me how you felt about the show, Impact Wrestling. And yeah, share this video. Share this video. Comment down below. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Am I missing something? Oh yeah, if you missed last week's review of Impact Wrestling, the video will be right up here. It'll be right up here. And yeah, man. Now see you guys on Wednesday for the AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite is this Wednesday, tomorrow. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. So yeah, man. That's it. And once again, man, thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, man, that's it. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care. Stay safe. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. And that's that.